Welcome back to another episode of A Potent Dose of Three. Happy Monday. My name is Kathy.
I'm Jasmine.
And this is your girl, Linda. And we're here to bring you your weekly dose.
So today we're going to be talking about diabetes and how this is managed with Ozempic. But before we get into that, I did want to break down, some differences between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. And so type 1 diabetes is basically an autoimmune disorder where the body attacks the pancreatic beta cells, and these cells are responsible for producing insulin. And insulin is actually a hormone which is responsible for picking up glucose and basically lowering our blood sugar. And so as a result of this, we have to manage this with long-term insulin injections because people with type 1 diabetes are not able to create insulin.
And type 2 diabetes is a condition in which your body is still making insulin, but your body is insulin resistant. Insulin is necessary for your blood sugars to enter cells. So being insulin resistant means your body doesn't handle blood sugars very well.
Some of the risk factors for type 2 diabetes are to be pre-diabetic, overweight, have physical activity less than 3 times a week, family history, poor diet, obesity, and your ethnicity, specifically for African American, Hispanics, and Pacific Islanders.
And actually, according to the Office of Minority Health, in 2018, African American adults were 60% more likely than white adults to be diagnosed with diabetes. And in 2019, Blacks were 2.5 times likely to be hospitalized with diabetes and associated long-term complications than whites.
So we're going to start this episode with talking about Ozempic because as many of you know, Ozempic has been a craze in the media and how it helps with type 2 diabetes and helps with so much other things. So let's get into it.
Let's go.
So I'm sure you have all heard of Ozempic, and its medical term semaglutide. And this was approved in 2017 by the FDA. And Ozempic is actually a weekly injection that people use to help lower blood sugar by helping your pancreas create more insulin. So a lot of people with type 2 diabetes have been, prescribed this, to help them manage their diabetes.
Ozempic can be injected in the stomach, thigh, or arm, and it helps improve blood sugar levels and reduces the risk of major cardiovascular events like a stroke, heart attack, or death. It would also help you lose some weight. It will reduce your appetite, and it slows down the movement of food in your gut. Therefore, you're full for longer periods.
So the most common side effects of Ozempic includes nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and constipation. Some serious side effects are allergic reactions, changes in vision, and pancreatitis, potentially intestinal blockage, and stomach paralysis. And one of the big ones that many love is the weight loss.
Ooh, skinny. Yeah, I've been seeing it everywhere, all over TikTok and stuff. And actually I was reading and it was saying that there's like a shortage, which is kind of scary if you think about it for people who actually need it with type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, I also see like on TikTok, the hashtag Ozempic has been viewed for like 273 million times. I was so surprised because I did hear about it and I saw it in TikTok, but I didn't know it was like that big.
It's a big thing. Like your favorite celebrity, if you saw one of your Instagram influencers or a celebrity just drop a bunch of weight within a month, they on Ozempic.
A month? I'm talking about night and day. Like, I'm like, who's that? No. Yeah.
No, the changes are very fast.
Yeah. And then I feel like I was reading that some people say like, yeah, I lost weight, but they don't tell you like the truth. Like, yeah, I lost weight because I ate well or I exercise. And then like other people rat them out and they're like, no, just tell them the truth. It's because you use Ozempic.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's a big thing right now. And actually it's kind of scary though. Cause like, I mean, obviously it seems cool to be able to, drop the weight you've been trying to drop really quick. But I can't imagine like, cause what you're putting in your body, it's helping you make the hormones that you need, right? So if you're taking this and all of a sudden you just stop, your body has to adjust to making this. And so you're not making this anymore. And I feel like one of the things I've heard a lot is people will gain the weight really fast because your body has to adjust or your metabolism is slowed. It slows gastric emptying like you were saying. So I can see the side effects right after you get off could not be good.
And that's not the only thing, honestly, with any like fast weight loss craze. If you lose weight fast and you never learn proper nutrition, you're going to gain the weight back plus more. So like aside from like, you get it on Ozempic, you stop taking it and you gain weight back. But then again, that person never learned proper nutrition or physical activity. So of course you're going to gain the weight back.
Completely.
As well.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. And actually something I was reading, which was very interesting, I don't know if I should say it now or not, but it just popped up in my head is, so Ozempic, right? You said it slows gastric emptying. Therefore, if you are on birth control, girl, you are going to get pregnant. So just make sure you know that, just because it slows down the way your body absorbs this medication. So the chances of you getting pregnant, I think, are increased as well if you're taking Ozempic.
Honestly, that is good. That's good to let people know. But honestly, with me, when it comes to Ozempic, especially working in the healthcare field, like even it was my clinical instructor. She was saying how like unethical it was for people to use it, diabetic medication for weight loss. But just like you said, Jasmine, people who use Ozempic, it decreases, like basically it makes their birth control ineffective. But then I also was reading that now people with like PCOS and that have a hard time becoming pregnant, they have like infertility problems, that they actually use Ozempic and it helped them become fertile. So it's like, okay, it's multiple uses and it's good, but so many people are getting upset that, people are using it for weight loss, but it has many other benefits.
Yeah, but okay, I could see how it's an ethical issue, but at the same time, not, because we use multiple medications for other things, like not just one medication just for one thing. It could be used for multiple things. And if it's going to help you with like not being able to get pregnant, then why not use it?
Yeah. And honestly, I'm not saying I'm going to play devil's advocate, but I'm going to play devil's advocate because a lot of people get upset that people are using it for weight loss. I'm going to go back to the whole weight loss thing. For some, not the ones that's already kind of skinny, they're just honestly messing up their insides. But shoot, if these people who want to use it for weight loss, at least they're being proactive and not reactive, because why people on Ozempic in the first place? Because they have type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
And what are the most common reasons why people are type 2 diabetics?
Overweight.
A lot of reasons.
The most common ones, because you're overweight, not doing enough physical activities. Yes, family history, but family history is like
you can combat that. Yeah.
With the proper nutrition and working out.
No, and don't get me wrong. Like I'm not like bashing people being on Ozempic.
Oh no, because I'm saying for me, like
I've seen it too, and like I'm not gonna lie, a little part of me is like in the middle. But to be honest, it's their lives. It's whoever chooses to use it. It's their lives. But what I'm saying is, if you're gonna use it responsibly. Like
I did read something. Someone was taking like 4 times the dose. Now that's stupid. Like,
I'm like,
would you do that?
that's a lot.
Be like,
they want to be skinny.
She want to be a skinny queen, but you're over here overdosing on Ozempic. You're gonna go into freaking the hypoglycemia.
Exactly. No, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if they're gonna use it, it's not on me to tell you what to do with your body, but I'm just saying, if you're gonna use it, be responsible. Talk to your doctor. Have them, run labs, manage everything right, because what you're putting in your body affects it, and you don't know what the long-term side effects are, because a lot of the trials and the research that's been done for Ozempic is for people who have type 2 diabetes. So if you're using this off-label, at least be responsible about it and make sure that you are doing your due diligence and checking in with your doctor and managing your health.
Go to your doctor and figure it out.
And then also use it wisely, because if you lose weight rapidly, then you're going to start like aging quickly. Like you're going to have like wrinkles and stuff. So use it wisely. Don't 4 times a day, because then you're just going to drop all that weight and then it's going to make you look a certain way. Because that's what I was reading.
Yeah, the wrinkles. Yeah. The saggy skin. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like with any like fast weight loss, you're going to have excess skin. But yeah, we're not over here condoning, but I do want to play devil's advocate of the ones that's using it for weight loss, because if it's helping you lose weight, yes, use it. I don't even know I should say that because people are like, oh my God, you work in healthcare and you're telling that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, be like proactive about certain things, but yes, you have to learn proper nutrition. And then another thing is Ozempic is not the only diabetic medication out there. People are making it seem like Ozempic is literally like the last thing. Yes, there's a shortage because of the craze. Everyone wants it because of like the weight loss, but Ozempic is not the last form of diabetic medication.
Plus, we're just looking at both sides, and that's what we're here for. Like, we always look at both sides of the story and say like, yeah, it's good, yeah, it's bad. But then also, like Linda said, it's not the only medication that is like, okay, if Ozempic runs low, people are going to start like having like DKA or like, you know, having all these things that are just going to put them at risk. Because before Ozempic was just approved 2017, 2018. Before Ozempic, there were more medications. So we're just trying to see both sides.
And honestly, like you're saying, it was approved in 2017. Me personally, I would be too scared to take something like that's new because we don't know the long-term effects of it. And again, we're not advertising people to take Ozempic if you're not diabetic.
Oh, no, we are not. Oh, no.
But best believe, just give me 3 shots of Ozempic for a month. Let me lose about 30 pounds.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle.
No, because I've seen a lot of people who, on the weight loss side of it, like Kathy was saying, they want to be secretive. But there are some that's, you know, come out and say, yeah, I use Ozempic.
Dolores Cantanilla. Hey. No, she's from The Real Housewives, and she was like, she was on the show, and she's like, I'm not gonna lie, I used it.
At least she's truthful.
No, yeah, for real. Like, I've, especially with like, you know, the diet culture and everything, like making people feel bad for, you know, whatever, like for not being able to lose weight and stuff. And, you know, especially like how you mentioned, I think you mentioned earlier, PCOS. Like people with PCOS have a lot of, they struggle losing weight. It's not easy.
Yeah, for them, it was more so with fertility.
No, but also like they also like struggle losing weight as well. So like, you know.
Oh yeah, so
you know what I mean?
Works as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, like, I don't remember her last name, but Amy
Schumer.
Yeah, she was open to it, like open about it, and I appreciate people that have a platform and have like millions amount of followers that are open for it,
and
because
honest.
You have all these little girls or all these like adolescents looking up to you and like, yeah, if I like work out 6 times a week, or if I just don't eat like, I don't know, like breakfast and lunch, and I just eat dinner, I'm gonna lose weight and I'm just gonna look like her. When it's like, no, boo, she was using Ozempic. You're like, you know.
Oh, that's
and not just that though. I don't got no private chef. I don't got no personal trainer.
And that's another thing, because of these celebrities are bringing more awareness to it. That's the reason why there's a shortage, because now everybody wants to get on Ozempic for weight loss. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword in a way.
I can see that.
Because it's like, okay, now that little girl that looked up to them, now they're saying like, oh, I want to be on Ozempic. So it's
but I also get like the reality, like how like they make it like they don't make it seem like it was something else. You know,
they're being like upfront about it.
Yeah,
and that's what I do. I do.
But you're right. It is a double-edged sword. Like, well, the celebrity did it, and I actually can do it too. Although it's really expensive.
That's the thing. And then a lot of providers, you know, that if you don't have diabetes or if you're not pre-diabetic, you're a lot of times the providers that follow protocol, they're not going to prescribe that to you. So they're celebrities just because they have money. They can literally get that stuff from anywhere. Like,
better access,
just easier. So they don't barely need a doctor's note. They can just, hey, doc, I need this.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
No, yeah, money changes it for sure.
Money changes it a lot.
Well, yeah, just even like if you think about like how diabetes, right, is it just proportionally affects people in underserved communities or minorities. Like
why is that, Jasmine?
Social factors, money, just being able to afford like healthy food. Healthy food is a lot more expensive.
Yeah, but even then, and a lot of times in these communities, it's like McDonald's. We have fast food restaurants on every corner. So that's easily accessible than a nice, healthy meal.
Olive Garden. No. Olive Garden.
Look, and that's the example. Olive Garden is Jasmine.
I meant to say tomatina. No, not tomatina. Tomatoes. It's like this like salad bar place.
I don't know.
It's good.
Which I learned in my class, in community health class. Those are like upstream factors that we have to see and we fail to see sometimes as doctors or as providers, that we just see the patient like, well, yeah, you're not exercising, like you have a poor diet, like do better. But can you sit down and think about like, where do you live, Linda? Do you live in 98 where McDonald's is right in the corner, KFC is in the other corner, and Taco Bell is in the other corner?
No,
or do you like
completely, because I've been to Walnut Creek and I'm like, they don't got no Wendy's here.
And okay, no, it's so true. And those are people who honestly say that. That's because they have that stuff easily accessible for them. So that's why they say things like that. Even then, like even with me working out, I'm not going to say the actual gym because I don't want y'all to be at the gym that I go to. But even then, like now I have to drive to Castro Valley so I can have like a decent gym to work out at. Because I was like forcing myself to work out at the Bayfair gym. There was
It's gone downhill.
There was 2 shootings in the parking lot. It was like homicide.
Oh my goodness.
And then I won't say what I did. Not what I did to that incident, but even then I was like, okay, it was 2 shootings. Maybe they won't come back.
No, you're right.
And then I go in there, literally I was stretching in the room. There's someone with a knife practicing his stabbing skills in the mirror. I was like, okay, let me go to another area.
How is this okay?
How is this okay?
But no, that's actually another factor. Like, for example, like if you think about it, if you go to a nice area, right, they have parks here, there. If you go to Oakland, like there are no parks. And if there are parks, we're not going because it's not safe.
It's not.
It's
like,
not safe to go to a
you'll
park.
find like needles, like in the slides and everything.
And not just that, but even for us as women, we have now like the perps looking, we have like people coming and like just trying to like, let me get your number, let me get your Instagram. It's like, no, dude, I'm just trying to work out. Like you just don't feel comfortable.
F you then, I don't want your number anyway.
Even with me looking the way I look, trying to work out, shoot, no standards.
That's one thing Oakland men, I'm just kidding, I don't want to get canceled, but they make me feel loved. Like you said, Jasmine, I'll be in my workout pants, probably just got done working out, my eyebrows gone, and they're like, hey, beautiful.
You're like, you turn around like, who's he talking to? Where's the beautiful girl?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Not
No,
as
but you're
nice
right.
about
It does feel really unsafe to work out in these areas. You're right.
Like by yourself, I wouldn't work out by myself. If anything,
wouldn't.
I'll just go with Linda, and then like be in an open space. Like for a woman, it's hard.
It is very, just like the neighborhood we grow up in, or, you know. But anyways, back onto Ozempic and type 2 diabetes.
So yeah, your ethnicity and where you live, it plays a big role for type 2 diabetes. And then with Ozempic, it's good and it's bad.
Why do you feel like it's bad?
Like, it's bad because you made me think about it. Because I'm like, fudge. Like, what happened if I have a 16-year-old girl taking Ozempic when she shouldn't have been taking Ozempic? She should be working out, trying to lose weight, or like eating properly, or you know. So then now I'm like, so that's bad because I don't want like young girls to do it. But then it's good because it also helps that one person that she tries to do their best, like work out. Him or she's trying to work out, like eating right, but it's just they cannot lose the weight. So that's why I
completely agree with you. Like I see both sides, and I don't think there's like a proper answer to this. I think it all really comes down to everybody's story and is unique. And so that whatever your story is, whatever you decide for yourself, as long as you do it in a right way with balance and moderation, and we're not saying, you can be healthy and still eat bad food, but as long as you have a balance and you're incorporating everything you need to incorporate, the gym, walking, exercising the amount of times that you should, and seeing your doctors and managing that, and just, I think as long as you're doing what you can really, and if you don't just like straight jump into it thinking that that's going to be your like pill, like your magic pill, then I can see if you've been struggling with your weight for a really, really, really long time, if it's something you feel like you need to try, as long as you're doing it with your doctor and being honest about like how much you're taking, like, not taking like 4 doses or whatever you said, Linda, I can see how that can be beneficial to somebody.
And then also for the people that are struggling conceiving, like I feel like it's not talked about in society. Like miscarriages are not talked about. Having a hard time conceiving is not talked about. And if it is talked about, then it's talked about like, it's your fault. Like you as a woman are failing, because the majority of the time they never blame the men.
Yeah.
The one that's infertile is always the woman, because that's how they always like, society always blame the woman. So if there is a pill that, like, if you're on your 40s and then you're trying to conceive and you can't, and you see this pill that's going to help you, like, you know, it's also beneficial for the people that can have, that are actively trying and can, like, have kids.
Yeah. Because honestly, I think another reason why this is so big is because of social media. It's like the new hype. Everyone's hyping it up because, like you were saying, like for people using Ozempic for fertility, but there's some like metformin and a ovulation induction drug called Clomid. People also use that to help with ovulation and fertility, but no one is really talking about that. But it's literally, metformin is a diabetic drug that people are using for other things as well.
That's interesting. I had never heard of that, honestly, before this.
That's because I was going down my rabbit hole on TikTok and trying to figure out twins.
No, I do that too. That's where I saw that video on TikTok and I was like, what? You can get pregnant off of this?
Yep.
Like, people should know so they don't get surprised. Instead of losing weight, they've gained a bun in the oven.
Exactly. So I guess my real question, since we did introduce this episode about type 2 diabetes and like Ozempic, you as a provider, how would you feel with prescribing Ozempic for other things? Or do you as a provider feel like it's a bad thing that people are using it other than for diabetes? Because that's what it's supposed to be for, diabetes.
Personally, I feel like I couldn't necessarily fully answer that because I feel like there's not enough research done. You know, the research that is done is on people with diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So I feel like I would want to have more research on that and a little bit more knowledge before I'm able to, you know, provide this off label.
But even then, for you to even like, for that comment, I know providers, honestly, that's the reason why they're providing Ozempic at this point to their type 2 diabetic patients, so they can lose the weight and also manage their diabetes. Not for the insulin
Other
stuff. It's mainly, not mainly, but a lot of times they do it so their diabetic person can lose weight as well.
I see. So you're saying if it's just to lose weight, would I prescribe it?
Yeah, for weight loss, for fertility problems.
I think that I would want to inform myself as well as I could, as well as inform my patient about pretty much all the risk factors and things like that before I did it. But I would consider it.
Okay, I'm going to sound like a nerd because I was writing a paper for literature and I was looking at the provisions for like nursing. So me as a provider, I agree to give it for like something else that is not just diabetes, and that will align with like provision 1, which is just to be fully transparent with my patient and just tell them like, hey, this is because, you know, nursing is all about like educating your patient and giving them those tools. That way they are ready to come or call me if something is going on with their digestive system. So I will provide them with all the education that I can and tell them like, yeah, use it wisely. Like, come to me once a week. We're going to look at this. We're going to look at that. Just have a plan
monitoring them too
for my patient.
And that's another thing, is that's how drugs end up. That's because, okay, so Ozempic is a new drug. All these other drugs, they're made from one thing, and over time it's like, oh shoot, they're also helping for X, Y, and Z. So like you were saying, like even with propranolol, it's a beta blocker for your heart, but now they're using it for people who have anxiety symptoms to slow down the heart rate and to reduce those anxiety symptoms. So like regardless, I feel like drugs have multiple uses. But again, I feel like because Ozempic is so new, everybody's like, oh my gosh, you know, people shouldn't be using it for weight loss. I feel like, and it's biases as well, because for the fertility thing, I don't hear a lot of bad comments about that. It's more so bad comments about like the weight loss side of it. So it's like,
kind of because it's applicable to them almost. Yeah. I can see both sides. And like you said, Linda, medication, there are basically, you know, multiple uses for medication. For me, I would have to do like pretty much extensive research and gather like info on it before I prescribed it. But like Kathy said, being honest with the patient and, you know, just like sharing like what this medication is was created for, but also sharing like the other potential benefits of it, you know, because like we said, yeah, medications are used for multiple things. So at the end of the day, my goal is just to make sure that my patient is educated, healthy, and living their best life, and that they have access to pretty much everything that other people have access to. So yeah.
And I feel like I feel the same way. I wouldn't just jump into prescribing something to my patient if I don't know myself or like I need to do the research behind it, and like you said, like educate the patient, because we should be educated.
Yeah, we can't just be like, here, take this.
I don't know what it's for. I heard.
You're just gonna lose weight.
Yeah, and that's another thing is like, honestly, sometimes the patient may not even care. They probably just want the weight loss side of it. But as a provider, it's like,
it's your duty, I think,
it's our duty to because sometimes people don't even care. They're
they don't.
Oh, nausea, it's okay. I threw up a little bit more, I'll lose an extra pound. So people don't be caring about like certain side effects.
I know, but it's because they don't realize like how bad sometimes the side effects can be. A lot of times people don't realize it. Like I think when you work in healthcare too, or like you're around healthcare, you are honestly just more aware of the fact that we can be gone tomorrow because you see it happen all the time. And so I think that makes us a little more cautious. Everyday people, they don't see stuff like that. And so although they don't care, sometimes they need to be reminded like, hey, this may not be the best thing for you.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes even like as providers, we should be putting our personal feelings, our personal beliefs on the side and actually listen to the patient and like see if it actually can benefit them. Because I had, I heard this one story of there's a patient who was obese, I think like morbidly obese, and she had knee pain. So of course and she was pre-diabetic. So of course all those factors is going to be hard for her to like lose weight, to even be like motivated to lose weight. And I remember telling, my professor, I was like, hey, there's a little recently, I was like, hey, why won't you prescribe that patient Ozempic? And she was like, no, that's so unethical because, you know, she needs to learn proper nutrition and exercise. Like, yes, we will give Ozempic, but, you know, it's not the root of the problem. I'm like, yes, I do understand that, but sometimes
you need like a little
boost.
Push. Yeah, I
like
agree.
She has knee problems. It's hard for her. Like, yes,
to work
she can
out.
do water aerobics, but even then, like, you have to do more work. So in my head, I was like, well, Ozempic can help her a little bit. She's pre-diabetic. Like, the goal should be trying to fix the diabetes before we actually get full-on type 2 diabetes.
I completely understand what you're saying because, like, I'll be honest with you, like, I've gained weight, right? And, like, to me, I've noticed just my ability to, like, to move is slower. Like, and it takes more energy.
A lot
than
more
before.
Energy. So imagine having an injury on top of that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty sure I would lose motivation. I barely have motivation now. And I have both my knees work. So I can see.
Like,
yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of tricky. I
think everything is tricky.
Everything is tricky.
Everything is tricky. You really have to like think everything through, to be honest.
Everything. Because I already know just based off of this discussion, and this is life. Not everyone's going to agree with what we're saying, and that's okay.
And there's no solid answers for everything.
Just have a thought for yourself and think about like, you know, everything, but there's no straightforward answer.
And another thing that I think is important is that being safe taking Ozempic, because what happens if, like, you know, it's low here in the United States and then you cross the border and go to Mexico and then they're like, oh yeah, this is Ozempic. It might have the same box, but how do you know it's Ozempic? What happens if it's a laxative and you're like pooping your brains out and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm losing weight, but it could be like very detrimental for your health. So it's just being smart of how do you, like, what are you doing and how are you using it, and making sure that what you're getting is Ozempic.
The right actually medication that you're looking for.
Because not everybody's honest, like, especially in other countries. And if they know that you're a tourist, they're just trying to get your money.
And that's one thing I noticed, too, because even me, you know, I travel a lot. Every pharmacy in Mexico, even Colombia, when I was in Colombia, every pharmacy, they have all this type of medications that
accessible
for the low. So that's like a lot of Americans do go to these other countries to get medication. Yes, because like they're cheaper and because they don't need a doctor's note.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then now it gets
That's
tricky.
dangerous.
Yeah,
I mean,
dangerous.
I know, I see why, like you said, why people do it, because like, I mean, if you look, I think I was reading in like Ozempic is like $900 or something a month.
Oh wow!
I was reading, it's like
really,
yeah, it's like
I did not know
$1,000.
that.
It's expensive.
I'm gonna keep going to the gym.
I won't go. I'm not getting Ozempic.
It's expensive, so I can see why people go to Mexico to go get it and stuff. I get it, I completely get it, but it's also like, now you're taking this medication, which I'm pretty sure the general public does not know what Ozempic, like the actual like mechanism of function is. Okay, people don't care. People just hear lose weight. Ooh, take it.
Let's do it.
They take it, right? But do you know it lowers your blood sugar? And like Linda said, that person who took 4 times the dose, you can become severely hypoglycemic. You know what happens? You go into coma. That's not good, you guys.
Yeah, like that's how. Not that I always joke about this, but you know, I've been always like all my life. I want to say since 10, like I was struggling with my weight.
Mm-hmm.
So like me and my friends, we would do like some extreme like workouts, some extreme like crazy stuff. I was like, I would have to remind my friends sometimes, like, hey, is that worth it? Do you want to look skinny in your casket? Because that's what you're
wow,
basically
that's a reality check right there.
Yeah. I'm like, it's not worth it. It's like, yes, you know, we're not happy with our weight, but that's not. It's not worth it.
Yeah, and it's also risky because, okay, now you went to another country, and then let's say you flew back to the U.S. You're taking this Ozempic medication that they gave you, and now you're sick, and now you have to go back to your doctor, and the doctor is gonna look at you like, where do you get this medication from? And then now, like, they have to make sure that it's Ozempic, if it's true or if it's not, and then it just makes the whole thing more complicated than it already is.
Yeah, it's complicated. So.
Because be safe.
Yeah, because honestly, with Ozempic, like medication-wise, even surgery, I know a few people. There's plenty that go to other countries just for surgery because it's cheaper.
And then I was looking in TikTok, and then they were saying they were interviewing people from Britain. Is that how you say it? And then they were like, "Oh, how much do you think an ambulance costs in the United States?" And then that's what I'm saying, like, because the cost here right now, it's to the roof.
It's terrible.
Like, it's a lot. Like, so my fiance, he needs to get knee surgery. We went to Tijuana, to like inquire about it, and it was cheaper. But then, you know, it's Tijuana, and I do have a kid, and I started thinking about like all the risk factors that could happen there. And then I was like, okay, so let's go to Colombia. And then my dad told me that he, because my dad also needs surgery for his arms. And he talked to a surgeon that's like a sports surgeon for like the Colombian soccer team. And the appointment, it was like $70.
Oh, wow.
When am I going to get a sport surgeon here for $70?
Your consultation wouldn't even be $70.
No, like that would be probably your deductible. Like, and even then, if you have insurance, because then if you don't get insurance, don't let me get into it.
So basically, like it is cheaper, but you know, we definitely have to pay attention to what we're putting in our body and who we're letting near our body, because sometimes things we can't go back, and just be responsible about it and how you do it.
Basically, we're saying don't go to other countries to get medication. Stick to your provider. Let them track your progress, making sure test your lab levels, everything, to making sure you're okay, because it's not worth it, honestly. And I guess, I don't know, we can end this episode.
Yeah, we can end this episode. And if you actually want to talk about Ozempic more, if you have any questions, if you have any info on that,
if you want to educate us,
if you want to educate us,
some people want to get triggered.
If you're on Ozempic and you want to talk about some benefits or whatever,
how it's changed your life, if you want to give Linda a shot or two.
No, but like, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to either like taking medications or Ozempic, or even like the weight loss struggle. If there's something you guys want to talk about or something you're interested, let us know. We are excited to, you know, record more things that you are excited to hear about. And don't forget to email us at apotentdoseof3@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at apotentdoseof3.
YouTube.
And finally, YouTube. Follow us at apotentdoseof3. And don't forget Linda's page, Linda the F&P.
Until next time, guys.
Bye, you guys.
Quick disclaimer, we are a podcast of a group of 3 friends that share our journey through school, the healthcare system, and life. Our discussions are personal reflections and not intended for diagnostic purposes. We are not speaking as healthcare providers or your provider. Our conversations do not constitute medical advice. If you require medical assistance, please consult with your healthcare provider.